one way to solve a customary conversion problem is to solve it using dimensional analysis. So, for example, if you were trying to convert 2 tons to ounces, you could use dimensional analysis to do this. And what dimensional analysis is basically fraction multiplication. So you need to know some basic conversions in order to do this. Well, we know that there are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton, and there are 16 ounces in each pound. So the way you're going to set this up, if you're going to use dimensional analysis, is you're going to kind of make a little table. So you start with what you're given. We're given 2 tons. So that goes up here, and you want to include your label. In fact, you could abbreviate your label. Okay, and then we're going to segment it off, and we know that in 1 ton, there are 2,000 pounds. Now, what's important about dimensional analysis is you want your labels to match on the diagonal. So tons are diagonal from each other. You don't want them to be next to each other. Like I said, this is kind of like we're using fraction multiplication. We're using the fractional equivalent in order to solve the problem. Okay, and again, we're trying to go to ounces, so we're not there yet. Now we're at pounds. Well, we said that in 1 pound, there are 16 ounces. So I'm going to put 1 pound over here, and 16 ounces goes on top. Again, your units must match on the diagonal, because the reason being, just like in fraction multiplication where you can cross simplify, we can cancel out these units on the diagonal. So now I'm only left with ounces, which is what I was trying to convert to. So again, fraction multiplication. Multiply everything across the top. So we know that 2 times 2,000 is 4,000. So now we just need to do 4,000 times 16, which is 64,000. So that means that there are 64,000 ounces in 2 tons. An easier problem, if we were just trying to convert 16 feet into yards, set it up. We know what we're given is 16 feet, and we're trying to figure out how many yards. Well, I know that in each yard, 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. So I'm going to use that information. Feet have to match on the diagonal. So 3 feet would go down here because they have to match on the diagonal. And then 1 yard would go up top. And this doesn't need to be this long. And now, like in fraction multiplication where you can cross simplify, my feet cancel out, which is what I want. And so now I multiply straight across the top. 16 times 1 is 16. Oh, and then in this one I had a denominator. Back here I didn't have a denominator. It was just 1 times 1, which is 1. So I didn't need to worry about it. But here it's going to be 16 over 3, which would be 5 1/3 yards. So 5 1/3 yards is equal to 16 feet. And that's dimensional analysis.